wa join na o share e KOFI TV so. The interview ayeye de wo ho enie. Se wani ji interview ayeye ho a, bomodin a na share fato wo so ma adofo enhu na omumra mehwe bi. Enu achi no se o hwe e wo YouTube so a like interview no e wo like button no eso. Enu achi no share ma adofo enya kwan enhwe bi. Sa wonka KOFI TV abusua no ho a mesra se obe click subscribe button no e kokko ai wo kona ho. Sa subscribe button no click so. Uwi a adoma bi wonchen ho click sa adoma no so e ka ho. De ye ne se adoma no e ma bribia ye de video beto YouTube ha no onya kwan etumi ehunu e ma prompt e ka kire wo se KOFI di video ato ho. Subscribe no so de ye ne se e ma be ka KOFI TV abusua no ho na bribia ye live a watumi enya bi ahwe. Sa wo hwe e wo YouTube a hwe ne so se ye interview no dodo no aye e wo Facebook ansana ye de ato YouTube. And into no Facebook or so pese o join ye na otumi nya bi share live e wo ha ye obaye ne se hwehwe KOFI TV e wo Facebook na click e wo follow ana se like ye page no ye ko live bi a e be send o prompt ana se be mo hu na send o message se KOFI e ye live na watumi a join ye de tene se me nya complaints bebre obi se KOFI interview we no mani gye ho obi se we no mani enye ho de tene se de wani
or music, KOFI Radio has got you covered. Join us today on TuneIn, modernghana.com, or
alright, ebusia ba mo adwona ya mo akwaba edo aba KOFI Radio so ebra so se wo man Ghana ensemu a edi fumpa efa radio stations ahodo no so ye kan nyina edi bomu edi ema o se ya today puduo wo man Ghana ensem nyina na ye de ema o ne ye hwa ase na ye bekọ tew ene ensem no do so ansa na ye de KOFI TV interview for the day ye de atoa so enti ye hwa ase a ye nko na afi ye mfa headlines no City FM said the modern headlines etuja yenshasi enfriho.
High turnout at most of the centers I visited in the ongoing limited voter registration.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes, Electoral Commission's limited voter registration exercise dogged by litany of chaotic scenes ranging from accusations of unfair treatment against opposition parties to breaking down equipment. We'll tell you more.
We're supposed to have an online way of registering, but upon the engagement between ourselves, our brothers from the NDC and then the Electoral Commission, subsequently the NDC regional secretary came in and openly opposed to it, even though he was not in the meeting.
Also coming up, fishermen in Greater Accra region catch plastic bags after a month-long ban on fishing intended to ensure more fish in the sea. But their counterparts in the Central region are reporting of a huge catch. We have the two stories for you. And later on Eyewitness News, over 40 unruly drivers arrested by police in Accra in the second phase of City FM and City TV's war against indisciplined campaign. Stay with 97.3 City FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Third World Network warns Ghana is not yet ready for the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement next month. Also, Ghana Standards Authority reiterates commitment to harmonize standards of products with ECOWAS member states.
Where City FM headlines and somewhat one more editor and you may and yeti bino yemfa Adom headlines and twasona yemwe peace na yentingra and semno emo. Adom FM headlines.
Akotrebi enese Nigeria ni professor bi enese di wesi ato amane Ghana de hye ne nya agro ekwawi ase krose Ghana ye nwuma sua na kwase samampo mayo a hye ubiem awrehwo nko a ene obetum nsem
Yenu anuma apofofo a work James Abu afuse tamade ne omse da no bosompu yetu mu no mfaso bi amaso ene wo mkoyo mu anyanam
ye fred ye ne bechiram ne akwa ekiri di ya resese de empanyufo se sakokra mo afere so obesu hwene so anso mefere se de duro bambara beta so tri na ne ya ba be fa kwanu asa nyina ba so ne atu ase se wa ewo mayimu
Odifo kwabna tawia wonne da Church of Rabia no de atodwa se wono ne bo amampani na nado danko akufu adoni MPP mo be ya aban na se ne o moda na o machi a kire no a wodom batu burum se kurum
achachefo wo mamu na nkaja yanti so mpanyi sem da na so ne ya seje so kwotron so hwe ansa na watumi abechire ni wo mo kwotron so hwe mu nsam bedemma ebi buafu ebi so ne age ebi so se abeboa ama ngomasu akonkan
se dia yese kwanfoforo kra ne ebefa so ne akoatia kwanso accident ahodo esie esanse wode app bi aba ebeboa yempa enuntia nche empani ede ho nsam ebetudwa
ezabika we woni aba ne bedade bram
Adom FM headlines na yekotie bi no ye wie ewo Peace FM ensem a wo mode tudwa anwumre na yaba bewura ensem no emo
Ghana ne nkraba ta hwe nkrase sika krabia ensem so pani oda no ru Alex akosie wia se wo bibia da wo du sika be kwa akoto bank no so hwe na se nimu a emfa nkoto
And then Electoral Commission share limited voters registration exercise ase.
Enti ebekwan santimema ko hesenie esisi wo ho.
Omayi bambo a enkoso no. Owura 7 kodahin kekos abato mpeso so ani pepe tetre ni se akomo esisi efra no chibri komfo apenso. Eyo mampani da mahama ene sha ase.
Adwumanfo a wo mo ewo awaso bauxite company limited de bufuo Ashe company na japade bebere se omo asetremu ne mankoyi
onsoafo wo hempom din sem so ono bo kwakwagima manu edi atudwe se malawia na wo na nkwampa so se ye besi etu ase afri Ghana hakra
adisuafo ahasa biosia ba akọ okoje teacherfo entity ewo Akrokre College of Education afei no wapon won ho a wabo wona su se wo maye adwuma se teacherfo
afei samfo from omampani ene Barbados mansoafo twetwe nkombo e man komodie no koye se yemfa nursefo emra ho no momra be adwuma sai na nursefo wa Ghana so omoje sa asemu yi
kwakwakuafo kasa se to bi akrachefo no kokko no wo mususu a na wo ma justice scale no na wo mu di bu wo mu nti wo mu nyai
wona wo ye nua adwuma wo ayom so ani akodie awo asunafo atifi municipality ebe go so wo manya entokwa ama nipa mienu ahwere won kwa edumienu ana wo mu aprepregu ayarsabia
ensam no bi eka ho na nwumre na yatena se a yede ne nkyeremu ebrem
Peace FM kasiebo na wote ne tofabo by way of headlines yede ebre no ye shasia na ye fasa eni ni akohwe said ye ho ensem eba over the weekend afofidai mu na eba beto dwa se alatafo bi akọ enhyiemu bia wo mokọ enhyiemu ne de obia entumi emfa ne sensi ne bonenso tiemu a na akoye se ebeye asuafo Yesupon ahodo ewo enkraha mu baako wo mo campus na san hyiemu yi ekọ so se de abambofo ahya se nhyiemu de efa ho ene se alatafo no susu se Ghanafo ye bo wo mu dimbone na mpanisi ni mu antumi wa etete wontoma eni nti wo mo ntena se enye nhwe ha sitting down using cutlass killing snake just ote ho na obi do se kan dwa na nkapa de wo mo empene sa ti wo mo ankasa ba bonten no ma be ye wo mo ho fine fi se wo mo ho nye tan sa na ese Ghana ne amama ahodo no pese alatafo edin eyetan enam soma professor baako a wogina ni mu de nsem to dwa ne nsem a waka ne se Ghana ha kwan ya Ghana fo de alatafo fa so na alatafo no nsore na ese media yi a no wo wuram police service ne kora bi wo mdada enu achi no wo mo ye ne ma ahodo pi na wo mo emfanti wo mo edin ho wo mo mpe emergency lines such as o ya latani bia na ho kirewa obetumi afre wo so ensem o kan ne do so na mpanifo pi no a kire se ebe ha adwen yebedi ho enkomo anwumre na afi ya hwese de ho nsem etie wo KOFI TV interview for the day but ansana no yenti opani ne na afi yenhwe reactions aba ede afa opani ensem ahodo a wode atudwai eho
including South Africa, and they won't lack anything. But because of our country, we are not respected. Here, with all due respect, the two professors in our faculty are Nigerians. They're on sabbatical. They are likely to leave at the end of the year. They're already appealing, can you get us more Nigerians? We have these. but we are not respected because we do not take advantage of our what we have, our facilities. So this is where I come in. We are highly skilled and highly talented and blessed people, but many a time we lack strategy. Nigerians tend to lack strategy. You can have good skills if you don't know how to let people know it's there, it dies. Like having a factory full of items in the warehouse. If you don't advertise it, it remains in the warehouse. Sir, they have harassed us a lot. I know that. I'm often on the road. One day the day I was driving in, I had my workout things in the car. The Ghanaian police took my dumbbells and walked into his car and said, I have taken it. A colleague was with me. He said, what do we do? I said, if I do that, let me go and urinate first and come back. I urinated and came back and said, go and bring it from your car down to this car. And he did. But sir, I can tell you something. From his accent, I'm a professor of English. From his accent, he's a Ghanaian police. From his accent, I can bet my life he's a Nigerian. I can bet my life. He's a Nigerian policeman. He's a Ghanaian policeman, but he is a Nigerian. His accent is obviously Nigerian. The key things you use to identify where somebody comes, all of them. And when we left, that day somehow as I packed my things, I misplaced my papers when they were opening things. And they delayed me from Aflao to Winneba 8 hours until somehow I got the paper. So what I'm saying is, we need strategy, sir. I'll suggest something which the embassy can think about. I know they know, which they can do immediately. And the Nigerian community, there is bad image for Nigeria. We can take it back through the press. We can reverse it. We have powerful Nigerian media stations, channels broadcast all over the world.
Alata professor ena wote se wode ensem etu dwa se Nigeria fo e Ghana ha no wo mon strategize na wo mon hwe kwan wo betun afa so am omudin ayede wo mon so MP media ni bi social media blogging and wo mon blog fa alata fo a wo mon boy adwuma wo Ghana ho na yese dinbone no eye adoso asemi ena enwumre Adom FM ene Dr. Vladimir Ntwidanso wo yobi a wono so extra de wasan yobi a waben ewo bambo ne amaman enkita hodie ho nsem ho ene opani kire se professor no wono so professor na de professor na kan de kwan bi so wone no enya adwen wo kire de ntia wo kasa asem yentie opani Professor Vladimir Ntwidanso nchiremu a wode emaye.
By this time the MG say the Ministry of Foreign Affairs no take the matter up security agencies no so IRL and some of the nyen somewhere the kra is the Nigeria fonti upon Bonibia so ne ni can see bia ewo senior or compare universities rankings no enye yen ya yesi ya ne ye rankings say Nigeria university ye anase enye enye professor for do nko ewo university ba ko ne ye de hwe ne ye ka say bia Nigeria for professor for Ghana for professor for where they are on bedo so achen entino someone no can the say or the abufuo ni enibre ni mehuni ameka no ene de kanasem enti enya ade a yesu so no so kra enya ade di bibias this year ni Ghana ye Nigeria for ntem te Ghana for ko Nigeria no ko ye urukade bia ebechi won emra na ye di adwuma nti se emra na ye adwuma ha ye nka Nigeria for won semboni bia na 1970s na 80s ni esi Nigeria konko Ghana konko enye no na esi sese ni say Nigeria for no ibia ba be sha yanka so Nigeria for nyina ebi na ba be sha on ye urukade na de me kai mrebi enche pi Nigeria ambassador no for Nigeria for wo nyina na obom kokko se wo di ya say enti no wo mu hwi sa na ka steba na enye say wo be justify sebi enye ma yekoso ebiem Nigeria for penny for Ghana me kai mrebi so wo bo epo efre Nigeria for Ghana nyina nipa bebre ba se mo di to mani se yenye nipa bone for ti mo Nigeria for amugu ye ni mu hwi sa na o ma bia so to kwa ese wo tayi na ubo amanfo kokko se na be a woni nkonko ye urukade bia nti so mo gigan de se be nya ne kwan so kura no
Nessa and some no said nipa because as a inflame passions. Woma encrophobia hoden amomodia kwatia wo man no etimi kobasa.
Oh, entimi masakura. I just say nya kan dey ebufuo bi I say your friend national ultra nationalism. Oh, nationalism na be hye ni mu say ye good Nigeria for any man since you sorry akeke bi kwa. And then entimi man Nigeria ni bin sorry enye bibi opeso ye. Eno ye beche no. Na enye no sinti na Nigeria ban e be di oni position bia wa ban mu a esi esuru se ne awaka nti Nigeria ban e be sorry ama ne humre so ayi bibi dabi e masa me jin so no ani crop no ba di say bi kra e kanani den ye wo Nigerians a omo reason nyina to say e a good reason e be ma san intermediate enkubu ba bia e woni to me bia e bufuo any nationalism no what they can say I say ye wo bi wo ye nyina mu say we Christo ni bi na wa sorry mu awo so usi obo we nationalist bi say bia we Krobonia na we Santinia na we na obo enti sa nationalism de wo bi mu na wan hunu wo kasa ka na just wa kofa ene me bi enso wa koka ne me bi enso enti we am ye de me say we nationalist one ko for nationalism o Igbo fo no sorry no mo kasa out we say to me bi sana Lagos for so kasa so gana north for Hausa for so kasa yeah Hausa for the yeah na ikuta Nigeria ne udu ababia ewo nti Nigeria wo kama Nigeria nyina no I say Ghana for asheda and ato ashe Nigeria for so
Dr. Vladimir Enchidanso na wotene ne se wo chemu efa alatafo abagana womu nhyiamu a womu ekoye any strategies a womu efa osusu se foreign affairs ministry no eyentem na womu de womu enan esi form entesa ansha na akha adwen ye transem no so electoral commission bie abatron krataa mu se omanfo nsanhwe womu edin ne titru womu a anya emfie du nwotwe ene woni a ebia ba ko anam yenu bintina womu enya nhwe womu din e limited voters registration no emu na santimantamu amanebo efiri ho eba kire se wo ho a na NDC mpanimfo aba wo mo kire se aha niam no nkoyie na wo mo ne MPP fo enam so ma emia ni bi wo ho a ankosere na esese eko esemu mantamu nso no mia ne nso bi wo ho a na enam network ne ho niam nti no na ma wo mo nhihye ne se de ne wo mo hwe so betumi akotote no na entumi enkosa enam so ama City FM enwumre wo mo ene Mame Sylvia ano a wakasa de ma electoral commission edi nkomo ma ne kire se de asie no eye ba ko na mienu bi nenso no ekwa animu no wo behwe na o matutu bibia.
We have monitors in all our designated registration centers all over the country, and I can assure you that they are working diligently to make sure that any unpleasant eventuality is nipped in the bud.
Okay, so our reporters on the ground, in fact, from across the country, there are dotted concerns of network challenges. People are not able to register in a lot of the places that our reporters went to. In a queue of about 20-30 people, only 2 people registered as of the time. Have these concerns come to your notice?
At this point in time, let me say that it's premature to draw any conclusion. Because we don't have any empirical evidence based on that. But let me say that despite that, we may have some challenges. That doesn't mean that it's widespread. Apart from that, all those challenges are being worked on. If it has to do with the online registration process, they've been asked to go offline, and some are moving smoothly as I speak to you right now.
There are no empirical evidence. I'm a bit curious about your statement. Our reporters are not reporting what is the fact on the ground.
No. For example, if you have about 100 registration centers and you have been to 2, I'm just giving an example, 2 registration centers, you cannot use that to generalize. That is not to say that we don't have some challenges. With every exercise, we do have challenges because there are human beings working, they are working with machines. We may have
Sylvia, I know Ekasadema Electoral Commission and what I say watch and semno emu said ye etie potin. Ye transem no swa. And then Mama Yariga assign court. Efa when citizen vigilante Martinamidu special prosecutor SP special prosecutor Sabri when no training den no na ene kodru court no de otemu afọ tie gua so e che ne say di ne kan Mama Yariga nsem a wo che se Matiamidu waya akokora olu nimfie no ebro bia obetumi aye adwuma de ama aban no enti woni ho kwan se wode ne bekọ court no court ato sa asemi ato atwene enu achi no temuafo no nso agire mu aka nsem ne bi na no ena maama yarega ne city FM di nkomo no wo kire sa asemi ba ye no wo mu de akọ court kase mu se obi oye oman Ghana ma hwe biane wontumi entwe ne bre bia sa wode ne kọ court sa ye okwan ye fa so eye no nenso maami kire se wo won de de waka so obeye no an obeye de a na senka watwe kakra ema Supreme Court sabre nchemu a wo mo hwe free ho no wo mo nsa kansana ene anama wotuye no watu yenti mama yarega ene city FM nkomo twetwe
whether or not she should have just stayed proceedings and waited for the outcome of the Supreme Court instead of proceeding. So even if one appeals, I think the interesting legal issue that you give opportunity to a higher court to decide on will be that question. As for the question of its eligibility, that is already at the Supreme Court and definitely will be pronounced on. The question is whether, because that matters at the Supreme Court, if you allow his signature to ultimately lead to an individual suffering irreparable damages, only for the Supreme Court to come and say he wasn't qualified to even sign that, what can you a judge do at that stage? Because you would have already, by your decision to proceed, regardless of the question of the qualification of that person, you would have proceeded to determine a matter that may impose irreparable damages to an individual. Because it is not a civil matter in which you say we can just give the person money in compensation, that will be the end of it.
Okay.
It's a criminal matter. And so, damage could actually be irreparable.
Okay. Now, finally, she ruled in your favor on your request to prevent the special prosecutor from charging you on specific counts. You say that the special prosecutor, based on the law creating his office, does not have the power to prosecute under those charges. Can you quickly clarify what that position was and what you make of the victory then?
In that regard, I think she was right in some respect, because there were two such objections. The first set of objections related to the first case involving myself and Kendrick, and she upheld the objections relating to the capacity of the special prosecutor to investigate and prosecute those matters, which related to customs duty matters, tax issues, foreign exchange matters, and etc. In their opinion, the way that the particulars of the offense were stated and drafted, she thought that the special prosecutor had no mandate. I mean, for me, really, it's not about how it was drafted. I just think that if you look at the Office of Special Prosecutors Act, the specific offenses that he can investigate and prosecute are clearly stated.
And now, TA Mahama Ayarega Ninchemu Awade Emma City FM. No, yet was a copy FM. A penny hour no, and a bar banks a hodo a war on my Ghana money to the war in Crassen and Crunketuamu Wadano. One day, a month for a war jama, mine seen no emu or brony of Mantem Waku in Shemudia 2 when him said, there are 2 or more Justa, God is love, and Ninuanomo Susu companies a hodwa. A good year or Mantem woman for infant 2 or more effort. What just make us say, Sikani be a camu ama, Bebrenua esu. Say, what's to why now scientists a bank be say, obra, Mamma see who to say near dear. Not what share Adrian home me no. Not one your monthly Asia aiding como or mantam no emu a far banks. As I bring a one somewhere pay out or my gun and mo na ENT said a piece of film. A day and 70 be a 2 year.
And the basic Akurano Sebi, Bensa Anka. Enti yesre, Yenina no Ghana for no Yenye security, a meho, on say, Potamo Ayetibiano, Nyoko Subiano, as a sea Yenina no, Yasa dear say, Yabebe, na Yenyan and Tia Sebi, want to me and call the Bank of Ghana Kra. Police for we basu to say, oh, Ebi and Crofobi, Bewaha, Jumabe Didi, na Bia, Misusu say, Sir Jumaya Bedi, Bedi Bejisica, Befri Nipawa, and say, so police for better Bebema Bank of Ghana for so baso ati
Owura Alex Akwasi awia ode ensami atudwa ebra na wo kyerɛkyerɛ amanfo wo German anafo mensiri mu wo bro mantamu se obi ahweye na ona ne ho so wo ne sika korabia ensemu
ti na wei asempapa etia yɛntwene tenten bia ɛna wode atodwa no nti wone bank bi bedi dwuma wo Ghana na wamwani ada ho na Cape Coast atifi FM MPP dwamtani ho de atodwa se Ghana NDC fo ahyase e boso bo se aban yama wo manmu ayehu na sese wo manfo da wo mo enna ene na dwamtani ni Peace FM di nkomo no wo kyerɛ se Ghana asomdwe ni ha sobo no wo de bebo mampanyin dada John Dramani Mahama yentia wo kan sa asemi yentie bi
Chishin, why MPP, no Kunkan, one drink bona, one drink bon. When you know, can you want to come in? Ain't you one young Mabiara, more my Ghana, when Jim jump, no, and your batsabasi. It is a no general, cat or man, why you went. Do you have you know that? Or you know, Domin, Walker and Sherman, another executive sim, Walker and Sherman, as some more kind there, want you to go from back, want you to store when you got it, when you don't fata. It's your buying or wardrobe, more my Ghana, name Dado, needs in a name in Yamanon say. He ain't Kofa, I can for the map me, I'm more than Margin Bonnie. My domain with the Motibian Wardom Kakra. I'm out to assume why you're more on ya. What's American there? No man, my you. But you with that Bargain Kafa, Wagin upon a Mokafa there. 1 year in the month for 10 chair, a buying or wardrobe. No more, my son, America Chow there. Oh, yeah, I'm repairing Yami Bubu, Quine. I'm an another down Kufado. Ninyame, or Bubu, Quine. I'm a Gaza Wuriji. Asu brecha for wo menuma one word was says wo bude one mama sumdie mo men no be ye good anado dan kwakufa do name as ni jame be pawo wota bi bia so yame yo na ada America chena na de dam krofu inaran so what abani seme aya mo fo won da gwer one more twi anu mu bi ama nka fro we chi na we nya adweno bonen wa sache
we aye Cape Coast North ane pepe amanyoko titrani owura Stephen Kojo Ahen
Obani Kojo Ahen asemi so na yebefri na yatwa so akọ yanim woman Ghana bambo ne nhihye ahodo gu so a ekoso fa nipa yankasa ye ho ne mmaba na pomoden ho a malaria etude yade enam ntontom ema na ewom no anopheles mosquito de woman no fia no wo mo wi wa no wo mama plasmodium na wo yare ntino ehun akohia se Ghana yebehwe na yetumi atu ase eno ana eja kwaku adwuma manu wode atudwa osafo hwe apomode ho nsem so ekye se aban ne mpanifo akọ apam akwadwenwen ho ayare se ekwa 2030 emfie aduonu ne adiasan nu de na entontom wo Ghana fo kra na obi anya malaria bio yetumi ape ano pomasibre na ensem no nkyeremu ne nafutu a wode emaye ewo mu no
Them say you do baby a babe boy ye ku malaria ye tu aso ye kakra bi asigara herself sinuma ye de malaria adwuma nko a enso still kanya abane bono ya de ho mani ma ohwe mu health insurance sika ye tua ma doctors mu hanchi mu aduonu ye de tua malaria nko a hoka disi timi de ho ma malaria no konfom we say health insurance no afi betumi asrage na wa bre bia sika kra ba mbese because kana ye boni nyina so beti ama ye tin diska no aye bibi fufura ka ho say ha ye bai ye we ase nyina adwuma kra fe no we back malaria then you say be abo boy the partners na yibe so ya sama biska ye mfanya malaria adwuma American full group bi President's Malaria Initiative they no eno no amuna muni mi ya mfa so be nyana se nkra na ye wo bebi no be nya yare nse sila ye nya nye no kese ye yi baby a ye pilot no ye dika ndi amabe ne ya steady ape mfa so be baso amaye ye ku ye nim no bi amfie du no manim nkra na be go be ade no bi ne no se be nya yare no bi a afi ni be husa afi ye eliminate ade no ba sisi ye de agese ye reduce no ne ye brofo ese ka ye adwuma ate so na se kra free manim no de em se vaccine no itume yo na etwaso na ye nyina ye gitum na ye wonkra no nyina vaccine no bia afi ni be hu se yi twase
kwaku ajima manu health minister na wotene ne a wode atudwa e Peace FM so no se de e ba no na sa vaccine you kai se ho nsem so aye ho ye chese de wonkra ya ebe ha adwen abrofo na hyeda de ba se ebe ma ate abibifo ye ndodo no so ebema bebre no antumi ngo ene nsem bebre ba de opani kyerɛ sɛ enye sa enete ye bewo ama malaria yetumi etu ase efiri o man gan ne mu abra no pani kwakwa adwuma no de sansemi etu gya Peace FM no Adum FM asem kro no Ghana Health Service fani a woda no se kwankyerefo agency asare enso kyerɛ sɛ entontom wo mo pɛ efi pa eno mo pɛ bia ensuo eta eba ne sa no a na kyerɛ sɛ ne ensuo nani no surface tension wo mo ne nam ani wobɛkɔ no ɔno nso sɛ wo yɛ entontom to nantu nsuo ani wo ma tonkosu aguani no wo mo de yɛ bɔne tie bɛyɛ a yɛnhwɛ ne yie yɛntie ɛno nso sɛ de ɔde to Adum FM anim
you don't go gata no na esi gata no male yem tontom no so no be bia opepa ne be friend 5-star hotel ama entontom pe ne be bia ensuo ne ta ho ensuo na yefi wa kotrem na onya aduane adi bibia di na fe obaka no aka obi foforo enti de meka ne se obi ohwe na onya malaria na ho ye oye a oti ye ne ade a se kwa wa nkokra na okọ be bi te se pharmacy shop kra o metimi pharmacy shop for no metimi ama wo friend say aduro o mo test we yare ama aduro nti enya sa o trans ama yare ne doduro wana se duro akiri asana o ye firi o kra ye ne sa na ne ama malaria parasite wa system no mo conform no ne ye say ye nya zero malaria no
ti na che say ba be yi MP ni nyina e de afiri ho ama bibia koye meka MP no anye member of parliament we ye malaria parasite and ye be you woman by 2030 na asunwe etumi aba ewo man Ghana mu awaso box site bia ye tu eye de chemboi ebi amanebo a efiri ho eba chese adwumayefo bo afu se wo mo alalamia obi anka wo mo gene kakra aka de twa mo anum spedede no sika no emma empanimfo nso ayi wo mo ani a chese wo mo ka bibia wo mo ntientie ne wo mo atwaja to office ne bim ahyehye cars ahodo ne ade wo ho a enye agro Peace FM ensentwe ni etonkra efiri ho bebia ani na ensem a efiri ho eba ye ni bi ni
Coffee Radio.
Hello Augu.
Kadna bejo so.
Yo, boy enkomoy.
Yo, ayama tempo nyina kwa baba eye Awaso Ghana Bosta Company Limited. Na America kren ne ko ba se adwumayfo no de bia obeti yese omakika omo mbe so me wo yekere na aposifo MC onoba fodamo a omako no mo no kodi nkoma na tise omatia sensan na tise no mo kire se dondo afuti gare enne anopa wiam wo ka ne nyantie se adwumayfo yi akika omo ho a omahye ka mienu ewo eho HR no Yura George Ampon ne office omo shiri nyina grabu ena offices mako be edunum esuma bawura ho computers ho fridges enkrata omudi ye adwuma awadwuma kunu nyina no oma seni nyina atitiri nya tiri nyina gu enkonya ho mabubu nyina ate se adwuma mu penfo nyina no apa bi do mu tia kwakosha wo pom be bia unya omo na ebra omudi eja etoka no ene de ni mu no omo sanso etu barrier fire service a ofri ba bia ni eba ye municipal assistant fire officer Joseph what in the branch ebitu wana say omo fire tender no omo de fro esoro kokodum jana eyeyi enti penfo yi e de omo na si form to pure water e di kutai enom koduwa fire extinguisher makwa ko ho no o sha some bedum di suru kan hwa ade janti bi ebrase na ka no de before some kodu ho no na ni nyina asigrabu ye sake ne dwumafo mbu ofu di be kasa na so mo kire se enne pa de enya de so mo ekra so mo ni se twani bia be di nkomo yenti yeni assistant municipal fire officer Yura Joseph Kinsley Embra etwin nkomo na yenti se na nkomo twihye no esekoe
because company long vehicles nya wa block kwan na yenya access to the place so say igina wa na mafra commander police commander there situation say ye wo mi bi sire ya ba ti yo wa no say yentwa na so baba obi fiso wona we wa ba ho eja gusu da eja kuduma nkonfo ka the fire was a staff for say one fire for apia one try the oboko na yo so ya ezi yeshan the commander onye ne troop wo baba na yo wa no obey no say ndama mofa call mo yan park because long vehicle driver boy you obotum way to into you into faka no kwansi yan den mon join no mama men ya join ya the extinguisher ya the baso ya be so no che the HR no office in a jatum ya share no che the situation no west cry extinguisher so when nyina we use nya so ja da wa wo ma you go do ya bo ho ba masisi ya wa ba fom na ya share so other rooms nya glasses the office nza mo ho nyina so wa say no mo mi ja anka no mo HR no wa no mo big hall na ija to mandam nyina shu o kind almost some year then over 1 month ago where demonstration kakran wa kutua was what they fear for 10 days been what so ninya where the one to what so ninya wo ba ho na do the one hwe na won was ka so ye be next year wa
tie no a na just sika sam no nkwasa de wo mo hwehwe tie ne wo be hwehwe offices no na wo mo aye de wo betumi aye sabre ye be be phone lines no ama na watumi ajoin yen nkomo a ye de ato anim puduo ensema hodo a ye de ebre headlines ahodo a ye boba wutie stories a ewom ene de yasan abiebie mu ede aka ho nyina no wo betumi ajoin yen WhatsApp call ana say normal direct call wo de wadwenche no eba ye be kenkan na ye timi atie won so say wo ye call a eno so ye tumi atie o Hamidu okay Humu Hamidu was it the whole world enim say Nigeria for there omutumi bibia anti omuma yenwe na de wo mo kan de ye ne wo mo enye adwen kra kwan bia so na akuasi kase we have seen when the South Africans chase them our more country ho. It's not a disgrace to their president and his members. Okay, we'll be that question. Say South Africa for the mo pam obi o. Mo pam Ghana for nyina kan ho na say no mo de obi a kan ho bin kakra ne ade a. Dirty Litty was it now I know how South Africans feel about. Okay. The South Africa for no. Now just I feel also who says I say that here. Anyway, ubetumi agenda me ka mo comments ni bi na me fa course no so bi etwa so ti oba enchia no ye simple pudu no age so yes sir.
KOFI Radio.
Pudu.
Yes sir, about to now pom.
Ya me no mpa bo me ho ye pa. We dey na bia of free necessary enko.
Yes, I'm now from the US, Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, I'm into you.
That was the can be the professor no time. And you know, we are seeing a fine part in the University of Technology in Nigeria. Or more to know more a I don't know tuning for the life on our mobile. Although you no, rather, all the money worth. I bet a press conference no we did to me, I said, a pet lawyer and we here. The Nicholas about us. Let's say, may security be the time. You freedom of movement, and then just say, if you movement, yeah. Or man, I say, young man, I say, near my street, you get for no more street in the moon yet. That the busy body, the name found a fan, so that I'm more.
Yada sipi ene wadwenche kese tafo mo dwo mo do so pa ma memfa next caller na afi adi na say me pick na drop DJ KOFI say Nigerians are most criminals baby abeko bia sa no wo mo tie wo mo ye crime pa ti Ghana eno ana wo mpese wo mo da sa suban di Yusuf Muhammad Sipudu yesesa today network clear ena wade ebaye wase na alata fone de yenhwe na yema wo mo enko ye frame TMST ena ode eno ebaye ti yenhwe
KOFI Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian.
Yes sir. Bro KOFI, good evening.
Good evening. Facho we dey na bia frefina yen kasa.
Facho ye frame Kingsley make us free no way. Bra KOFI, mfato mpese me kasa akrafa professor se wan no. Na anenye bia bra KOFI me do ye sample. Omo emra mfato mu ye omo adwuma. Enti si ehwe bibia na bibia ye okay ni e la o ma o fine. But what do you mean kase uguofu because o mama wa say. And na the tosu bi omu so no. Wan kasa ye because me ni say 6 months and 3 months ago no. Now there is something like this going on in the country. The other ocean say about the same and I'm Ghana for 2 company team ko so. And I say president and Nigeria for ni na neta. E bi wu mu a omunye. It is am nani ni omu di a. Am nani ma fine. E di wu asemi a wu na wo say wo fun ko for na nya kuku bi di mo mo say. Yes say Yesuban. Recently let me say me news say there has been another rape case, Nigerian, robbing, Nigerian. It's too much, KOFI.
enti no kakra meti makano no nyame sɛ ɔna papa wo ye mekwa mo bi aba
ɛda sepi mo am wa bruche no so ye besrɛ mo no ye tumofo mo wa adan wo Ghana pa mo de adan na ma han a ye srɛ mo ketekese mo make sure we say anyway Pudio
break of here sister apoma
nyame ne won pa bo ye ho ye pa wodi ne bia ofrefina yentio
yo Pachana nama ni Free Canada. Nichia woni wadwuma efo nyina. Na ya sister na kofi. Ya sister na ya kwasisa Nigeria for no chese. O ma begu country nim na ensem hunu kwa na ebi mu edie. Na babia ni wiase mu ha. Ukọ na agodi nsem hunu aye begya. Krom ha na ai doctor bi. Da mana ko hono nde o yespelele. So this fellow ni musa na fedie. Omo report on. So mo report on no. Doctor, I will cry happy prison. Omo de no kwa no mo ebisa na say. Obekọ akodam na so obekọ ni kuro mo bokọ. Eno ase so obekọ akodam pa de ne. Obekọ ni kuro. So ahu. Enti so ko bi kuro so. Na wo go di bone a. E so so sa ko ba bia wo firi baaye. Ye nyina ye kura ma krata. Na so sa wo bone amfa ho ne emre dodo a wa tena ha. Sawa ho. Me ba kro ma na me teenager. Over 20 years ni. But the me bone a ye de me ba ko because ya no me ha. Me free ha. Krata so keke na me di free ha. Enti no, o mo ti sa wo mo. Wo fo ko bi o di bone bi a o free ho ne de. E so wo tan akọ. Ne dance.
Also, yada wase pi. We say your friend me Obi. Wase Kofi da be na beba Austria. Woni kum chacha. Na Nigeria for nso de wo mo ha Ghana pa yenhwe wo mo eye. Me ne kum chacha Austria ne de ushia na we bisa no. Oliver yeboa wase toli ene ye de he mu de he na ye toli no. Ena Patrick Atakra wase me angasa matna Nigeria pen 80s no mu na Ghana for no mpe yasem no mo mpe yasem kra
Coffee Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian abroad.
Yes sir.
Pacho we dey be our free ntiwe.
Hello Brakofi.
Yes sir.
Pacho my friend David in Fofi Koforudia.
Aja David yentio.
Na yemi say Nigeria for nankasa no se amomo kwan toto ana mo ye ne mo pe o man mu na esen wie hia kasa hoho o se mra ne bom ho ban nipa ne de mra ne di wa ne di enu nti na ma Ghana aye basasa no Ghana se mra ne ye djuma me giri se una mo kraka hu ni ho Brakofi Coffee se mra ne ni ho nti ama police foko ma djuma na aye dina ma mo na te ne kan se Nigeria for do mo hwe mo ansem no mo kan mo ammo kwan sa ana Brakofi misen hia wo ne nkomo nti ka betima kasa offer enso a ka ebeboa me
mate yo da CP we say okay 80s there na ma kan message we dada ma menfa other messages ni bi na fe yemfa mo calls no so enkan wase Kofi Ghana de se yehwe na yetumi pet wall be Abbas Ahmed like yempe wall the na Trump soon maybe about more yempe wall on fanya dem fanya Ghana ho yes uncle still I won't be hudem asemo and a Prince Cigar say Nigerians love to expose themselves wherever ombekobia say womo de womo yes scammers ti yenhwe womo ye na yentumi entu anamo ese na efata and we say your friend Adelaide in Tiamwa we need to deport these Nigerian guys back to we intino we are na KOFI TV interview for the day ye security analyst security expert and international relations expert ebedi enkomo na yahwe what it means for Ghana as the cry no ya doso yempam Nigeria for what does it mean ebetumi aboa yen esese yitu saa na moyi eduru ho a enche kra ye de saa interview no ebebro na ya share said ye befa eno akọ. Was say these Nigerians are dating okay, dating, correct. Kama ya ka dating. Womo ye womo gu Ghana ho fi pa. Enti aban no enye ho bibi. Asemo. But womo ba ha womo ni ba bia o. Ya na ye de womo ne nam ti Ghana fo na so say ye na ye ni ye. Yusuf Muhammad, was it they should go back and enjoy their eba and ologbo soup. So, and Pudo,
yes, sir.
But we didn't be out of you.
Yes, I'm Eric, Mr. Free.
Eric Casa.
Mrs. Yamata also by interview.
Aye.
So, my name is tuning away.
I be radio, so how much?
Why, Mr. Why?
All right.
Okay, that's
yo. On say that's it. If I say any out here, interview, no, if you know where you na on to me and her another session, assume na OT, I will tune in tea. We are no yet interview, no, ebe bro. Na me abwa. We bet me a friend no my direct line. Mo say more friend WhatsApp call no pa but yes, I me pick na drop it, auntie. Try. O try no the normal line and so be kaho ebi.
KOFI Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian abroad.
Pudo konye pacha we didn't be afrefi entiwe
konye UK so wa mu pakro
ai bo we didn't marry
George na kase o na se wa sada o nfa mi ko me se o pa o nfa mi ko
George friend kasa
I George na kase Kofi bibi here we are friends and that's we are me fe wa pa akonte abrochefo na wo ye wo kala sam se ye dan ma alatafo no enye bibi na enye
mankasa mo de ma alatafo me se mo de dan na ya mo wa hwesofo a mo hweso wa ha enti no se o mo de bi obi ahan a ya mo mfa kan kire wo mo se ma wo mo mfa ma wo mo nye checks ansa na wo de am obi a
okay Kofi
nti wo de na ya
okay you dey yeah my na me wo problem me wo big problem wo sa ebi wo me neighbor a wo si abonsan e wo meyi ala tafu gum kwa otigano me neighbor otigana ala tafu ko egu building mu omu nyejume bia matia ne se omu nyina obi egu okura laptop eno omu de omu mbokro no but omu de omu ya ne se omu ye internet fraud ye Ghana penifo omu tie omu nyina red top omu agi wesels wo nyina area wo nyina red top ene omu ba asawo ba eno omu bo omu asai ka area mu wo nyina yesem Ghana penifo Kofi nda wo de wanu ato sa eyi mu wi security eyi a wo ba okay eya ma konto pocho kwan na yen so yen che ya dwingie wo ho na je kosu wo no yen na yen ni safe isi a wo ba na wo fie kura na bebe fie eso me bebe me beda so o da wa na we ni tete wo eso ha me da na mada nti mesrem mu ma ya aso ntoyen na ya ho ntoyen na ye sika kakra ye bebe fie no ene na chechere na no ye srem wa why
yo
kakra me kanu
mate yeah that's it George friend
KOFI Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian abroad.
Oba now that when in a yakata member entity ho o da na do any entity ho Stephen Boateng say ha dwen o very bad ema ye man no eninti ye nhwe ne ye say me kan ye be di ho nkomo extensively anwumre na pudu yes sir pacho we din be afrefi enti o
pudu yes sir media Eric Bedo be kasafi kata
eja Eric enti o
Kofi Nigeria for the dem se Ghana for the yes so mo so dudu she be kaswa na mete ansa na me ba se okọ si kaswa CPO oko kaswa CPA omugu o papa o ma hai hada na odu hada no bo no omo de o kan den kra ombetia nipa ba ko pe na beji dan no
dan ne bo eden se
nipa ba ko pe na beji dan no says the omo ye no nipa ba ko pe na beji dan no na oji a na wa ko fa other guys in na no ma ka bom no mo tia ka no mo gum nipa be 10 and as 50 no go dan ba ko mu na so kita laptop and no problem no. Okay, if you are for so yeah aban on for the 9 sure na no so almost so mboa wa saade no because they are dominating kofi jumo mo di o kaso no aswa city oko e kan say American down omuguo oba west here malls no so omuguo pa Nigerians jumo mo di no aban fa na ni sure no to me pamo mo fi o man because omuguo man ni ma se papa you say oko baby oko say who say we are black pay and say we are Nigerian. You say oko baby aha oko baby who say you person we Nigerian. Unless we show passport me we say okay we are Ghanaian. In fact, yes abanama you na you can say. But when it me clear and your money few. Then e be on man so any be da ho. That's it.
On say that CP yebefa probably your last caller ye security analyst no edim komo no yebema kwan na ho no yahwe based on the understanding na yebenya and what we can do as a nation no na yahwe say ho no ebia yebetumi afa mokos no ebi na yenyina because it's getting more serious. Eric Pope say Ghanaians should not patronize them because same Ghanaians who are saying they should go call them for businesses and illegal stuff. Pope, and so ya semo sempa. So oba na say yam patronize omo ejumani adea. It becomes difficult. Utie man no audio no in video no kra no. No ka say you so man power ni adea. Anyway, my memfa my last caller no na fe yenwie. Pudo.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Brakofi.
Yes, sir.
Mama. Yeah, your friend, Mr. Lincoln, me know Ekasa Free, Spain, Burgos.
Yeah, Lincoln, only offer for
Nigeria for. Okay, Nigeria for Bra Mubu, Ghana, Nadia. Meno. Me too fine, Acha, Cram, me, Matratram, Kobe, so now the woman is there. Misuma, Mother Ghana. Or more presence I will Ghana to see and Misuma Mother Ghana. There will be a time say Ghana for infinity. Because they will make sure say a bedroom have been Ghana for infinity. Opa, Odia Kofi, Ko Google, Nabo, country BRD, Germany, Norway, Nabo say how many Nigerians now are buying up a set or deport or back to their country. Now dear boss say how many Ghanaians and as our country no person will deport or back to Ghana. Ube who asemwa amanfo e kani nyina no ube obeti ase. Omo ye nkrofo a omo ankasa ye no omo oman we mu ha no. Obi asuro ne yonko. Se Nigeria ni eba ha sesi a ohu ne yonko Nigeria ni awotwam. You see, enti sankrofo omo Ghana no de I am afraid. Yen say no be den se be kakra no sesi amene namfo no bi di nkoma a. Se omo be ba pass ye ba be ye bibi o Ghana ana ye betra Ghana. Dodo na adwene say ye be ye bibi o Ghana no say efri nipa dodo na adwene because sankofo no presence wo ho no e danger pa enti de mo se media kofi wo boy djuma de mo betumi aye bia se de be na aban no e be fa dem ye border no na mo be ma emu aye den a e wo se mra ye adwuma Ghana na mra na nya adwuma. You see, Kofi, Major, what Ujuma dear so. Yamisra near Juma, oh,
so yo, and into Kofi radio, Pudua Edebra when you may know Hania do best but one more friend or any abo trainer, probably a KOFI TV interview, no, area na yet to me at the other course no at the account or. See, you better say what kind of home and you may not train and chakra. No tre ebo pai mo a ye de KOFI TV interview for the day any security analyst ye say ye be to me afre Nigeria community e wo ha no mpanimfo ni bi na ye immigration for ye hwe sa issue DNS ye fi say it's a serious issue edu ba bia na ayem hwehwe e wo ho ti say ye tu ho na mo na ye tu ni ye me ne KOFI adoma wani yɛda wase sɛ woka yɛ ho nyame yɛ adom a wɔkyena yɛbɛsen aboa kwa mu bi ɛfiri no nso anwummerɛ sɛ yɛ a ne yɛde puduo ɛbrɛ Ghana nsɛm no nyinaa ha ɛna wobɛnya atie ɛmfa ho ne radio station kɔn mo ka asɛm no wobɛte ne nyinaa ɛwɔ Kofi radio puduo so yɛda se twɛn yɛn ɛnkyɛ ne yɛde Kofi TV interview for the day ɛbrɛ na sɛ wohwɛ yɛn ɛwɔ YouTube nso a mema wɔremfi sɛ wobɛclick subscribe button na ɛwɔ fam hɔ no subscribe and then a don na one chain na adoma no bell no click account for notification purposes na the video bi ato a when your notification no na etumi abo na send a comment na my thumbs up so when you edge interview no ho yakra
Join us today on TuneIn, ModernGhana.com, or KOFIOnline.com. KOFI Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian